Hi, I'm Caroline Chang, host and producer of Oneness Radio. I wanted to make a video about my trip to California. It was wonderful. I actually flew out to Southern California the 1st of January. So, and I flew back on the 4th, actually didn't get home to the 5th. But so the first 5 days of the year, I was traveling and in Southern California, just taking in the beautiful sunshine, the beautiful salt sea air. It was amazing. Also, I was in Huntington Beach, and I have to say, most of the people I saw in Huntington Beach were not wearing a mask. Was so happy to see people not wearing a mask, especially in such a gorgeous location where it is warm most of the year and you're right there on the beach. You have that salt air, which is the best air for you to breathe. So I did see some people actually exercising, jogging, and riding their bike with a mask on, and you're right on the beach. I just think it's the most unhealthy thing to do, to cut off your oxygen supply, especially the sea salt oxygen air. It's just the healthiest air you could breathe. I actually have to go, to a local spa here where they have a salt cave at Kalahari Resort. They have a salt room to actually breathe in that salt air, healthy salt air, because I'm not near a beach like that. But anyway, the event I spoke at, which you could see the entire event on theunmasked.net, was sponsored by theunmasked.net, and it was all about how unhealthy wearing a mask is. Anyone that has been following my channel at all knows I do not wear a mask. And to be honest, I did not wear a mask in 2020. The only time I had to wear a mask was to fly to LA. Now, originally, the group, The Unmasked, was going to, we were going to rent an RV from the East Coast to the West Coast, but that didn't happen. Just kind of technical things wasn't feasible. So we ended up flying. And to fly, we had to wear a mask. But I have to tell you, I live in a small community in the Pocono Mountains, and everybody up here knows I don't wear a mask. They don't even question me. I wear my badge of honor that says, for health reasons, I cannot wear a mask. And I actually updated the badge before I went to LA. My old badge, which I still have, was handwritten with a marker. My new badge, I actually printed it out on the computer, so it looks more official. But it says the same thing, for health reasons. And my health reason is I want to stay healthy. So that is why I will not wear a mask. I did find out some important information I'm going to share about masks. I actually got to meet Dr. Judy Mikovits in person, and she gave me a copy of her book and autographed it for me, which was such a wonderful gift. So I got to meet Dr. Judy Mikovits in person. I got to meet the Healthy American, Peggy Hall, in person. I was just in heaven, honestly. The only downside is there were people that heckled us as we were setting up for the event, and people were walking by. They started heckling us because they had a different of opinion, which, hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but to start cursing, see, I wasn't raised to just start cursing. I don't curse. I mean, I'll curse. If I curse, it's more like I'm playing. I'm not serious. I just wasn't raised that way anyway. But for people to start cursing at you just because you have a difference of opinion and you're speaking your truth, sharing your truth, you're not bothering anyone. We still live in a free country where you can speak your truth. So I had to, a gentleman started cursing at me, and I said, I didn't curse at you. And I thought we still lived in America, which is a free country, which is freedom of speech. Now, I know, especially in 2020, it didn't seem like we were living in America because big tech, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, big tech tried to censor everybody, even credible medical doctors, hundreds of thousands of credible medical doctors from sharing their expertise, expert medical opinion. They were censored. American frontline doctors were censored. We even had some American frontline doctors speaking at our event. It was really great. It was a beautiful location. It was at Bluff Top Park, right on the beach in Huntington Beach, and I really, like I said, I was in heaven. It was so great to see so many people not wearing masks. Someone said to me, 80% of Huntington Beach do not wear masks. I don't know if it was that many. For me, it seemed like half of the people were not wearing a mask. Even the hotel I was staying in was right next to a 7-Eleven. I get my coffee every morning at the 7-Eleven. Now they had a sign on the door, mask required, but the clerk and the owner never had on a mask. So, and of course I walked in. I wasn't even, when I was in Huntington Beach, I did not even need to wear my badge of freedom. I just walked around freely with no mask. And so what to me was interesting that the owner and the clerk did not wear a mask, but there's a sign on the door, mask required. I guess they're just like, okay, the governor Newsom said put that on your door, so they're just being obedient and putting the sign on the door. But anyway, also I had dinner at Tony's Priscillico, I think I'm saying the name right, restaurant. I'll put a picture up above. Tony, and I got to meet Tony. Tony has never closed his restaurant, not one day. And the restaurant was packed. There was a line outside. They closed an hour before dinner to get ready for the dinner rush. And there was a line outside the door when they opened for dinner. And when I came out, the line was even bigger. It's not a big restaurant, it's a small restaurant, and they have seating outside. So the seating outside was filled, the seating inside was filled. Oh, heaven, the meal was delicious. I mean, thumbs up, Tony. It was great meeting Tony. It was great being there at a restaurant where no masks are allowed. When I was telling people about this restaurant before I went out to Huntington Beach, people didn't believe me that there was a restaurant that did not close, has never closed, and will not allow you to wear a mask. And I actually got to experience. It was a great experience. And then Judy Mikovits had told me about another event happening the next day that she was speaking at with Peggy Hall. And I got a ride to Vista, California, and was there at Peggy Hall's event, which was amazing. So it was Peggy Hall and Dr. Judy Mikovits that were speaking, and there was a pastor, Andrew, who kind of was the MC, and they took questions from the audience. I was there for 5 hours. It was the greatest event. It was packed. It was an outdoor event, but it was, all of the tickets had already sold, but they were still allowing people to come. So it was standing room only. I mean, people were outside and they were standing. I'm glad I got there early and got a seat, but it was amazing. It's so amazing to be in a crowd of people where no one's wearing a mask. Oh, the other thing I wanted to tell you that I learned from Dr. Judy was that the blue masks are very unhealthy. I didn't know this because this is what I actually wore on the plane. The only time I had to wear a mask was when I was on the plane. I did not have to wear a mask in the airport. I did not have to wear a mask in the Uber. Only one Uber driver, I took 3 Ubers, and only one Uber driver asked me to put on a mask, and so I did. But the 2 Uber drivers did not mention a mask. I had my badge of freedom, and they didn't mention a mask, so I didn't put on it. They didn't mention it. Of course, I'm not putting it on. But one Uber driver, I could tell he actually was afraid. It was the Uber driver that picked me up at my hotel to take me back to LAX. And he got out the car to put my bags in the trunk. And he asked me about a mask. I said, I have my mask. It was right in my pocket. I said, I'll put it on when I get in the car. And so when I got in the car, I had my purse and another small handbag. So I was putting that to the side. But he actually stood outside of the car until I put on my mask. I could actually see he was afraid to get in the car until I put on my mask. And I actually felt this is a young man, had to be in his 20s. And young man in his 20s, definitely afraid of someone not wearing a mask. And my heart went out to him because I can't imagine living my life in a state of fear like that. I saw 3 people when I was in Newark Airport leaving Jersey. I saw one person in a hazmat suit. And when I landed in LAX, I saw 2 people, a couple in a hazmat suit. It might have been the same guy and he met his girlfriend. I couldn't tell because I was looking at them from behind, but actually wearing a hazmat suit. So when I think of people actually out there wearing hazmat suits and someone that wouldn't get in a car because until I put my mask on, they are living in a state of fear. And I'm sure many are living in a state of fear. And I could not imagine living my life that way. I just couldn't imagine it. So my heart goes out to anyone that is listening to this, that is living in a state of fear. I doubt anyone listening to this is living in that state of fear because I don't think any of my listeners would be listening to me if they were living their lives in a state of fear. It's the worst thing possible. Fear will kill you much quicker than any virus. Fear will do so much damage to you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Fear is a killer. Fear is unreal. And when you're lowering your vibration and living your life from a state of fear, it's so unhealthy. I can't even put it into words how unhealthy that is for you. So I encountered that, but I was so happy because I didn't realize what reception I was going to get outside of my little community, and I was going to the big city. I wore my badge of freedom in a gas station to get coffee. No one said a word to me. I wore my badge of freedom all through Newark Airport and LAX Airport. No one said a word to me. Now, when I got to the gate, I was told I would have to wear a mask on the plane, and I did. Again, I had one of those blue, because they're easy to get, one of those blue masks that you see a lot of people wearing. And I did not know until Judy had described what the mask is made of. Basically, when you're wearing those blue masks, you are inhaling toxins. You are inhaling microscopic fiber particles, fiber plastic, microscopic plastic into your lungs, which stays there forever. It's actually worse than smoking. Wearing the blue mask is actually worse than smoking. Now, Dr. Mikovits, Dr. Judy did speak about a mask that they use with cancer patients that is much more healthy. I don't have the information on that. I would say to try to try to email her and ask more about that. She did describe a mask that is healthy, but it should be limited. Matter of fact, she wrote a new book that came out 12 towards the end of last year, 2020. And it's the title of the book is, sorry, I can't, it's all about masks. And I'll have the link to it below to Barnes and Nobles, because Amazon is censoring the book. Her publisher sent cases of the book to Amazon, and Amazon refused to sell her book. So it is a true book burning by Amazon, censoring by Amazon. I actually boycotted Amazon the entire year of 2020 until December. There was something I needed to order for my tripod. I had lost. I had said this in one of my videos. I lost, it's called the release plate to my tripod when I was making a video at the lake, and I found it 10 days later in 2 feet of snow. But I didn't know if I could find it, so I ordered that piece from Amazon. So now I have 2, because I found the one I lost and I did get it. But the only time I ever made a order from Amazon the entire year of 2020 was in December. And so I actually consciously have been boycotting Amazon. And Amazon is now book burning books that they don't agree with or think it goes against the mainstream narrative. They won't sell them. So, but you can get her book. Again, I can't think of the name of it. I will have the name at the bottom, and I will have a link to where you can get her book at barnesandnobles.com. So it was, so finding out about those blue masks really was news to me, because I know wearing a mask of any kind is unhealthy when you're healthy, because you're cutting off your oxygen, you're cutting off your life. Oxygen is our bodies, that's our fuel for our body. Our bodies are just a vehicle, and the fuel that our body run off is oxygen. It's fresh, clean air. And you're cutting that off when you wear a mask, and you're breathing in everything your body is trying to get rid of. So that is common sense. I don't need to read any study about wearing masks. It's common sense. Wearing a mask is unhealthy. And she, as a virologist and an expert in this field, can tell you much more about the dangers of wearing masks in her book. So please check it out below. Also, I got to meet Peggy Hall, the healthy American. She's short like me. You never know how tall a person is when you just see them on video on YouTube, and they're sitting down. But I think she's a little shorter than me. It's very rare when I meet someone shorter than me. I'm only 5'1.5", and it was great to meet her. Both I do hope to have as guests on my shows and upcoming shows in this new year of 2021. Dr. Judy and also Peggy Hall, the healthy American. Now, I didn't know all about at that time when I was in California, there was a lot of talk about the January 6th, which was yesterday. Today is the 7th, and going to DC. I didn't really have any desire, me personally, to go to DC, because I'm not political. Now, I don't believe my viewpoint on the people that went to DC yesterday are people who wanted to stand up for truth and freedom. It wasn't about Trump, not in my book anyway. I know there were a lot of Trump supporters. I'm not saying there wasn't, but there were also Biden supporters that went, because they were standing up for truth and freedom. Our freedoms the masses have been lied to. The public has been lied to all year. Not one word of what media, mass media, and mainstream media has said is true. Not one word of it. If you want to find the truth, it's easy to find. If you do your own homework, you can find it. The truth is actually right on the CDC website if you take the time to go to the CDC website and read it. So the truth is in plain sight, but it's not on mainstream news. You won't find truth on mainstream news. So if you want to find truth, you have to look elsewhere. And the big tech companies have been censoring truth. So when I try to share truth on social media, I try to go right to the source. I use the CDC website a lot. Take links right from the CDC website, like here, fact checkers that are not checking for facts. This comes right from the CDC website. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. But anyway, it's so obvious. The truth is in your face, and those with eyes to see and ears to hear can see and hear truth. So I will be continuing to share my truth and love and light. I don't care how much I get heckled. And I just send those people that are heckling me and cursing at me love and light, because I know that love is the key. Unconditional love is the key. So I have to radiate unconditional love, non-judgment, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like another word for non-judgment. I'm getting a little lost for words, but I know what it resonates with me, and sometimes I lose the words. But it's unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness, unconditional non-judgment, unconditional peace. That is what I'm going to live in every now moment. So even those who curse me and heckle me, I'm going to send them nothing but love. And those that are living in fear, I'm sending nothing but, I'm surrounding them with loving compassion, because I can't imagine anything else. We call hell. That is living in fear. In my book, is the definition of hell. That is self-created. We can create heaven and we can create hell right here and right now, and we do it in every now moment. We have two choices. You can live your life from a state of love, or you can live your life from a state of fear. And I had encountered, coming back to Jersey, my flight landed at 11 p.m. Monday night, and it was very hard to get an Uber. And it didn't dawn on me till the next day. It took 2 hours to get an Uber. And it didn't dawn on me why, because that's never happened. I mean, the longest I've ever had to wait for Uber before is maybe 15 minutes. And I know it was late, 11 p.m., but still, I wasn't able to get an Uber till 1 a.m. And I realized that probably because drivers, Uber drivers and Lyft drivers, are fearful of picking up people from the airport because they don't know where that person is flying in from. So I truly believe that's why it took so long to get an Uber. But I also, because my neighbor had texted me that we had 6 inches of snow and the roads were icy in the Poconos, and it was late at night, and I don't see as well as I used to at night. I was thinking about staying in Jersey. My car was parked at my cousin's house, and I was going to stay in Jersey, but when I mentioned to them the text that I received from my neighbor, I pretty much was told, because I was in California, and cases are spiking in California, I was not welcome to stay at my cousin's house. So I was like, okay, I'll just head on home. But I actually did not drive all the way home that night. I stopped at the gas station and slept in my car for about 4 hours, 4.5 hours. I got to the gas station 2 a.m. and I slept in my car to 6:30 because I did not want to drive at night in ice. And I know the ice and the snow was just in my local area, but I was tired. I was exhausted. I had been traveling all day. I slept in my car and then proceeded home in the morning. But my question is now, would you have your cousin sleeping in their car in the winter uh, instead of in your home? Is that an act of from love, or was that an act from fear? And I have nothing but love and compassion for my cousins. Nothing. I know where they're at, but they're living their life from a place of fear because there's no way love. Now, Christians used to have the saying, what would Jesus do? And I always say, what would love do? Which is the same. What would Jesus do? What would love do? Now, love and Jesus would never have your cousin sleeping in the car in the winter because you're fearful of them sleeping in your home. So it's all good. I am on top of the world. It is a new year. It's 2021. This is the year of unity. I know it doesn't seem like it. If you're looking at the world, especially what went on yesterday in DC, you're thinking, no, but we are. Don't look. Nothing is as it appears in this physical 3D matrix, which isn't physical. Nothing is physical. We do not live in a solid world. But nothing in this 3D matrix is as it appears to be. Nothing. The 3D matrix is crumbling before our eyes. And it's up to each one of us who are awake, each one of us who are truly and fully awake, to keep the light shining. Keep your vibration high. Send nothing but love, light, compassion, and healing to the world. And right now, my heart is just wide open with compassion for anyone living in a state of fear. And I just send everybody in the world, everyone on this planet, love, light, and healing in every now moment. So, Happy New Year again. I am on top of the world. Humanity is entering into a new age, and it's the age of Aquarius, which is also entering into the fifth dimension, which the fifth dimension is heaven on earth. And that is where we're moving together as collective. Humanity is moving towards heaven on earth, and I'm on top of the world. Okay. Peace and love. Please check me out, awake-to-onenessradio.org. If you have any questions, I do free mentoring. You can contact me at awake-to-onenessradio.org. Love you all. Happy New Year. Enjoy 2021. Bye for now. Hey guys, this is Caroline Chang, host and producer of Awake to Oneness Radio. I am at Huntington Beach, California. Today is January 4th, 2020, Monday, January 4th, 2020. And I am about to get a Lyft ride to the airport, LAX, and fly back to Newark Airport, where I always fly out of Newark because it's easier for me, convenient for me to fly out of Newark. But anyway, I have had an amazing weekend here in Huntington Beach. Okay, I'll flip the camera so you can see me. I'm hoping. Okay, I hope this is good. I'm holding the camera by hand. I just wanted to make a quick video before I left Huntington Beach I've had an amazing weekend here. I helped the unmasked.net put on their second event here in Huntington Beach on Saturday. And that entire live stream replay is on their website at theunmasked.net. When I get home, I will edit that video and put clips of it onto my YouTube channel. I got the honor of meeting Dr. Judy Mikovits, and she was amazing. And also, she invited me to another event that I went to last night, but that was hosted by Peggy Hall of the healthyamericans.org.